Bottom line, I want more freedom and prosperity for all. To keep this positive momentum going, we need to do more. One of the best ways to grow our economy is to put more money back into the hands of the people and small businesses of this state. With this in mind, I am pleased to announce an income tax cut of $343 million. Over the next decade, this will lower income taxes by some $1.7 billion. We reversed the trend in Wisconsin in the last budget. We lowered the overall tax burden. Now, we're lowering taxes on middle-class taxpayers by specifically reducing the rates for the middle and bottom 3 tax brackets. This will ensure a tax cut for everyone, with the focus on making sure Wisconsin is more competitive for middle-class taxpayers and small businesses. This will truly stimulate the economy. Our middle-class tax cut is a down payment on my goal of reducing the tax burden in our state every year I'm in office. I want to cut taxes over and over and over again until we're leading the country in economic recovery. In addition to rewarding high-performing and rapid growth schools, we also put new resources into helping turn around schools that are failing to meet expectations. These schools will receive additional funds once they prove they have a plan to fundamentally improve their schools. We should not pour more money into institutions that are failing to meet expectations if they continue down the same path. In communities where some schools fail to meet expectations, we include an expansion of the parental choice program in this budget. Since wealthy families have a choice because they can pay to send their children to a private school, we give low-income and middle-class families an opportunity to also choose a viable alternative for their sons and daughters. A major part of the plan is what we do with Medicaid and how it relates to the federal health care mandate. Specifically, our actions allow us to reduce the number of uninsured in our state by 224,580. We also reduce the net number of people who are on government-run Medicaid. Some 87,000 people living above poverty will transition into the private or exchange market, where they can get a premium for as low as $19 per month. At the same time, we're able to add 82,000 people currently living in poverty. Many of these individuals were not covered by Medicaid in the past because of a cap put on the program by the previous government. Going forward, everyone living in poverty will be covered under Medicaid.
You know, first of all, the budget's just at its beginning. So we'll get new revenue re-estimates in the middle of the budget like we always do. So if those are continuing to show improved success on our revenue collections, I hope we can use part of that to reduce taxes even further. But I think that where we've started right now with a sizable income tax cut for every single working taxpayer in the state who pays income taxes, we should be really proud of that. Hundreds of dollars to the average family is going to be a big difference in a lot of people's lives all across the state.
But lots of discussion about whether or not this is a middle-class tax cut. Everybody seems to agree that this is a tax cut that's going to affect people who make more than $200,000, the richest 2% in this state. I'm from Racine, and I don't know what color the sky is in Scott Walker's world, but where I come from, 200 grand ain't middle class. So I'm anxious to see how this is really going to affect real working people. Comes to health care, really I thought this was the most telling part and true reveal of where Walker stands and what his values are. You didn't talk about the $4.4 billion he turned away from the federal government to provide health care to our citizens. And he instead insulted people by saying that he's going to free them and make them in charge of their own destiny. We heard from people just today, small business owners, who said their ability to succeed as a business owner, as a small business person, as somebody who's self-employed, is directly related to their ability to get into Badger care. This isn't about economic freedom. This is about an ideology driven from people from out of state that puts the interests of the middle class in Wisconsin second.